Did you know there are 7 specific words that can instantly activate anyone's romantic imagination? Neil Strauss, one of the greatest masters in the art of seduction, discovered that these words function like master keys that open emotional doors you didn't even know existed. If you master these 7 words, you'll have the ability to create deep and lasting connections with anyone who interests you. And the best part is, they're so simple you can start using them today. Most people believe seduction is about looks, money, or social status, but they're completely wrong. Neil Strauss proved in his research that the real power of attraction lies in your ability to activate someone's imagination. When you get someone to start fantasizing about you, when you awaken their curiosity and make their mind begin creating romantic scenarios, that's where the magic truly happens. Today, you're going to discover exactly what these 7 words are and how to use them in a way that completely transforms your ability to connect with others. But before we continue, I want you to know something important. These techniques aren't about manipulation or deceiving anyone. They're about communicating more effectively and creating genuine connections based on deep understanding of how the human mind works. The first word you need to master is maybe. This small word has incredible power because it activates what psychologists call the uncertainty effect. Neil Strauss explained that the human mind is constantly seeking to complete patterns and solve mysteries. When you elegantly introduce uncertainty into your conversations, the other person can't help but start imagining possibilities. Think about the difference between saying, "Let's go to dinner tomorrow," versus, "Maybe we could go to dinner tomorrow if I can find that special place I told you about." The first phrase is direct and predictable. The second instantly activates imagination. What special place? Why is it special? What will happen there? The other person's mind automatically begins creating scenarios. But here's the trick most people don't understand. It's not about being vague or confusing. It's about creating intelligent anticipation. When you use maybe, you're inviting the other person to participate in building the experience. You're making them an accomplice in the fantasy being created. A simple exercise you can do today: the next time you make plans with someone you're interested in, instead of being completely specific, introduce an element of mystery with maybe. Maybe I'll surprise you with something you've never tried. Maybe we'll discover something interesting if we take that path. Maybe there's a surprise waiting for you. Do you see how each of these phrases immediately activates curiosity? The person can't help but wonder what might happen, and that's exactly where you want their mind to be, imagining possibilities with you. The second fundamental word is secret. Neil Strauss discovered that this word has an almost hypnotic effect on people because it activates 2 primary impulses: curiosity and the desire to feel special. When you tell someone you have a secret, they automatically feel chosen to receive privileged information. But the word secret doesn't work alone. You need to use it in a way that generates connection and complicity. It's not about inventing false secrets or being mysterious just for the sake of it. It's about creating moments of shared intimacy. For example, imagine you're talking with someone and you say, "Can I tell you a secret? The truth is, this place brings back very special memories for me, and I don't usually bring anyone here." Immediately, the other person feels they're experiencing something unique with you. They feel special for being the exception to your rule. Or you can use secret to create anticipation. "I have a secret I want to share with you, but not here. When we're alone, I'll tell you." This not only activates their curiosity, but also plants the seed of a future intimate moment between you two. The real power of the word secret is that it automatically creates an us against the world dynamic. When you share a secret with someone, you're establishing a special alliance. You're saying, "You're different from others. I trust you with something others don't know." Here's a practical exercise. During this week, find an opportunity each day to use the word secret authentically. It can be something as simple as, "Want me to tell you a secret about this place?" or "I have a secret for making the perfect coffee." What's important is that you generate that feeling of intimacy and complicity. But there's something you must always remember. The secret you share must be genuine and appropriate. It's not about inventing dramatic stories, but about creating moments of real connection. The best secrets are those that reveal something authentic about you and make the other person feel they're getting to know the real you. And that brings us to our next point, because the third word has the power to transport anyone to a completely different world, a world where you are the main character. The third magic word is imagine, and Neil Strauss considered it one of the most powerful tools in any expert seducer's arsenal. This word has the unique ability to activate the brain's visual cortex, making the person literally see and experience what you're describing. When you say imagine, you're inviting the other person to create a mental movie where you're both the protagonists. And here's the key. The experiences we imagine feel almost as real as those we physically live. The brain doesn't completely distinguish between a lived experience and a vividly imagined one. Think about the difference between saying, "We could go to Paris together someday," versus, "Imagine walking with me through the streets of Paris at sunset, with the aroma of French bakeries in the air, stopping at a small cafe where they only speak French, and the two of us trying to communicate with gestures and laughter." The first phrase is an abstract possibility. The second is a complete sensory experience the person can feel, smell, and live in their mind. And most importantly, in that imagined experience, you're there with them. Neil Strauss explained that when you use imagine effectively, you're programming the other person's mind to associate pleasant experiences with you. Every time they think of that experience you imagined together, their brain will release the same endorphins it would release if they had actually lived it. But here's the secret most people don't know. For it to really work, you need to include specific sensory details. It's not enough to say, "Imagine we're at the beach." You need to say, "Imagine feeling the warm sand between your toes as we walk along the shore, hearing the sound of the waves, with the ocean breeze moving your hair, and that perfect moment when the sun sets and the sky turns that golden orange color that only exists in your favorite place." See the difference? In the second version, the person doesn't just imagine being at the beach with you, but activates all their senses. They can feel the sand, hear the waves, feel the breeze. And at the center of all that perfect sensory experience, there's you, a powerful exercise you can practice. During your next conversations, use imagine at least once to create a shared experience. But make sure to include at least 3 sensory details: something that can be seen, something that can be physically felt, and something that can be heard, smelled, or tasted. For example, imagine we're in that little antique bookstore with the smell of old paper and fresh coffee, listening to soft jazz in the background, and suddenly we find a book that has exactly the story you always wanted to read. In seconds, you've created a romantic and intimate experience where you're both the protagonists. Remember, when someone imagines an experience with you, their brain stores it as if it were a real memory. You're creating a story where you two have already lived special moments together, even before those moments happen in reality. And if you want to take this to the next level, you need to subscribe to this channel, because in upcoming videos, we're going to dive into advanced techniques that will completely transform your connection abilities. But for now, let's continue with the next words that will change your way of communicating forever. The fourth word you need to master is feel, and it has a completely different power than the previous ones. While imagine activates visualization, feel activates direct emotional connection. Neil Strauss discovered that when you invite someone to feel something, you're creating a direct bridge to their emotional world. The word feel works because it bypasses the logical mind and connects directly with emotions. When you say feel, you're asking the person to stop thinking and start experiencing. And here's the key. Romantic decisions are made from the heart, not from the head. But there's a right way and a wrong way to use this word. The wrong way is being too direct or invasive. Feel what I feel for you. That scares people because it's too intense, too soon. The right way is using feel to create shared experiences in the present moment. For example, if you're walking together and there's a pleasant breeze, you can say, "Feel that perfect breeze." Don't you think there's something magical about these moments when the weather is exactly as it should be? Or if you're listening to music, feel how this song transports you to another place. It's incredible how certain melodies can completely change our mood in seconds. Do you see what's happening here? You're not asking the person to feel something artificial or forced. You're inviting them to be more aware of what they're already feeling, and you're creating an association between those positive sensations and your presence. Neil Strauss explained that the most seductive people in the world aren't necessarily the most physically attractive, but those who know how to make others feel intensely alive in their presence. When you use feel correctly, you're intensifying the experience of the present moment. An exercise you can practice immediately. The next time you're with someone you're interested in, find 3 moments during the conversation to use feel naturally. It can be related to the environment, music, food, weather, or any sensory experience you're sharing. Feel how soft this material is. Feel that incredible energy in this place. Feel how your breathing changes when you hear that musical note. Every time you use feel, you're creating a moment of deep connection where you're both completely present. The 5th word that can transform any conversation is remember. This word has unique power because it connects the present with emotional experiences from the past. Neil Strauss discovered that when you help someone remember significant moments from their life, they automatically feel more connected to you because you were the catalyst for that emotional experience. But remember doesn't work by asking people to remember random experiences. It works when you help them reconnect with moments that made them feel special, adventurous, free, or deeply happy. For example, instead of asking, "What was your best vacation?" you can say, "Remember that moment in your life when you felt completely free, without worries, where everything seemed possible. Where were you? What were you doing?" Immediately, the person won't just remember the event, but will relive the emotions associated with that moment. Or you can use remember to create intimacy. Remember the first time you did something that scared you, but you knew you had to do it. That feeling of courage and adrenaline mixed together. Can you feel that emotion right now? The power of remember is that when someone relives intense positive emotions while talking to you, their brain associates those emotions with your presence. It's not that you directly caused them, but you were the medium through which they experienced them again. Neil Strauss explained that the deepest connections form when 2 people share elevated emotional states. When you use remember effectively, you're creating those elevated emotional states naturally and authentically. Here's an advanced exercise. During your next deep conversation, use remember to help the person reconnect with 3 specific types of experiences: a moment of pure joy, a moment of personal achievement, and a moment of deep connection with someone special. After each memory, make them notice how they feel reliving it. Can you feel how your energy changes when you reconnect with that experience? What will happen is extraordinary. The person will associate the emotional intensity of those memories with the present moment with you. Their brain will create a connection where you're someone who helps them access their best versions of themselves. And that brings us to our next point, because the 6th word has the power to create anticipation for experiences that haven't happened yet, making the person feel that life with you will be a constant adventure. The 6th transformative word is adventure, and Neil Strauss considered it essential because it activates something fundamental in human nature, our innate desire for new and exciting experiences. When you introduce the word adventure into your conversations, you're promising that life with you will be anything but boring. But here's the secret most people don't understand. Adventure doesn't have to mean skydiving or traveling to exotic countries. The best adventures are those that are within reach but require a change of perspective. They can be as simple as exploring a new neighborhood in your city, trying a completely different restaurant, or taking a class in something you've never done. The key is in how you present these experiences. Instead of saying, "Want to go for a walk?" you say, "Want to go on a little adventure? I know a secret trail that has the most incredible view of the city, but you have to walk a bit to get there." Immediately, you've transformed a simple walk into an exciting expedition. Neil Strauss explained that people are attracted to those who promise to take them out of their comfort zone in a safe and fun way. When you use adventure, you're positioning yourself as someone who can add excitement and novelty to the other person's life. A powerful example. Instead of suggesting, "Let's go to dinner," you can say, "I have an idea for a culinary adventure." There's a place where the food is completely authentic, the menu is in another language, and we'll have to completely trust the chef. Do you dare? See how you've turned a simple dinner into an adventurous and memorable experience. But the word adventure has another hidden power. It creates the expectation that interesting things will happen with that person. When someone starts associating you with adventures and new experiences, they automatically start seeing you as someone who makes their life more exciting. An exercise you can implement immediately. During this week, every time you make a proposal or suggestion, reframe it using the word adventure. Want to go on a gastronomic adventure? Shall we go on a little urban adventure? I have an idea for a cultural adventure. You'll see how it completely changes people's responses. Do you realize that simply by changing your language, you can transform ordinary experiences into exciting adventures? That's exactly the power that the right words have in the hands of someone who knows how to use them. And now we come to the seventh word, the most powerful of all, the one that can seal any connection and make the person feel that you two are destined to create something special together. The seventh and most powerful word is we. Neil Strauss discovered that this small word has the unique ability to instantly create a feeling of coupledom, of teamwork, of shared future. When you use we elegantly, you're planting seeds of commitment and continuity in the other person's mind. But here's the trick. You can't use we too early or in a forced way. You need to build up to it. You need it to feel natural and organic. When you use it at the right moment, it's like taking the final step to consolidate a connection. The difference is subtle but powerful. Instead of saying, "You should see that movie," you say, "We should see that movie together." Instead of, "You'd like to visit that place," you say, "We'd love to explore that place." Instead of, "You're going to enjoy this," you say, "We're going to enjoy this incredibly." Do you feel the difference? In each case, you've transformed an individual experience into a shared experience. You've created the suggestion that you two are a team, a unit that experiences things together. Neil Strauss explained that we is so effective because it psychologically programs the person to think in terms of a couple. When someone starts talking and thinking in we, they subconsciously start seeing you as part of their life, not as someone external to it. An advanced example of how to use this. You know what I love about us? We have a very natural way of making deep conversations flow effortlessly. Not everyone can create that kind of connection. In one sentence, you've established that you two have something special, that you're compatible in a unique way, and that you form a we that's different from any other combination. Another powerful example. I think we're the kind of people who can find incredible adventures in the most unexpected places. Here you're not only using we, but you're defining the type of couple you'd be together. Adventurous, spontaneous, capable of creating magic. But be careful with timing. We works best after you've already established rapport and connection. If you use it too early, it can sound presumptuous. If you use it too late, you miss opportunities to consolidate the connection you've already created. An exercise to master this. During your next conversation with someone you're interested in, look for 3 natural opportunities to replace you or I with we, but only do it when you feel the connection is already established. We have a very similar sense of humor. We like good music. We know how to appreciate authentic things. Every time you use we appropriately, you'll be reinforcing the idea that you two are compatible, that you make a good team, that there's potential future together. It's like painting a picture where you both appear as protagonists of a beautiful story. And here comes something crucial you need to understand. These 7 words don't work in isolation. Their true power emerges when you combine them naturally and authentically in your conversations. Imagine being able to say, "Want me to tell you a secret? I think we could live incredible adventures together." Remember that feeling of excitement when you're about to discover something completely new. Imagine what we could create. Can you feel that energy of possibility? Maybe this is the beginning of something extraordinary. Do you see how in one paragraph you've used 6 of the 7 words fluidly and naturally? You've created mystery with secret, established unity with we, promised excitement with adventure, connected with past experiences with remember, activated visualization with imagine, invited present experience with feel, and maintained intrigue with maybe. If you made it this far, there's something you already know. Mastering these 7 words isn't just about learning communication techniques. It's about understanding how human connection really works at a deep level. It's realizing that words have the power to create worlds, activate emotions, build bridges between two people. Neil Strauss spent years studying what separates people who create deep and lasting connections from those who always struggle to genuinely connect. And he discovered it's not about being more physically attractive, having more money, or being funnier. It's about understanding the language of the human heart. When you master these 7 words, when you incorporate them naturally into your way of communicating, something fundamentally changes in how people perceive you. You stop being just another person in their life and become someone who makes them feel more alive, more connected, more excited about the possibilities life can offer. People will start seeking you out, not because they need something from you, but because with you they feel like better versions of themselves. They'll see you as someone who understands the art of creating special moments, someone who knows how to make ordinary experiences become extraordinary. But here's the key you can never forget. These words only work when they're authentic. It's not about manipulating or using psychological tricks to get what you want. It's about communicating more effectively and creating genuine connections based on real understanding of what moves the human heart. When you use maybe, you're respecting the other person's mental space and allowing their imagination to participate in creating experiences. When you use secret, you're creating real intimacy and mutual trust. When you use imagine, you're inviting them to dream together. When you use feel, you're intensifying the experience of the present moment. When you use remember, you're honoring the other person's significant experiences. When you use adventure, you're promising growth and novelty. And when you use we, you're recognizing the potential of something beautiful you can build together. The world needs more people who know how to create real connections in an era where superficial communication has become the norm. It needs more people who understand that words have the power to heal, inspire, make someone fall in love, and transform lives. Your challenge starting today is this. I want you to practice these 7 words during the next week, not all at once, but 1 per day. Day 1, maybe. Day 2, secret, and so on. Observe how people's responses change, how conversations intensify, how connections deepen. And when you've experienced the power of these words, I want you to come here and write in the comments, I choose to communicate in a way that activates the best in the people around me. Let the world know that you're no longer someone who communicates superficially, but someone who understands the art of creating true connections. Because these 7 words won't just change your ability to create romantic connections. They'll transform all your relationships with friends, family, colleagues, and anyone you interact with. You'll become someone others seek out because with you, they feel understood, valued, and excited about life's possibilities. If this video has been revealing for you, if you feel these 7 words can transform your relationships, I need you to do 3 things right now. First, subscribe to this channel because we're going to keep exploring the secrets of effective communication and deep human connection. Second, share this video with someone you know needs to improve their communication skills, because knowledge that isn't shared is wasted knowledge. And third, hit the notification bell because in upcoming videos, we're going to dive into even more advanced techniques that will make you a master of communication and connection. Remember, the power is in your words, but only if you know how to use them. And now you have the 7 master keys that can open any heart and create any connection you desire. The only limit is your imagination and your commitment to authenticity. The world is waiting to meet the version of you that knows how to communicate this way. Don't make it wait any longer.